Hey guys, how you all doing? I thought I would dive in with like a 30-minute game and see what we get. It's been a while since I've done like a slower video. So we have an opponent rated 1484 and I'm currently 1566. I'm just ahead of my blitz rating actually. I'm almost like 1550. Okay, we've got a French. So if you are aware, if you've been following the channel fairly closely, then I've been playing something called the Diemer-Duhm Gambit. Now this depends if he goes into the full French. Okay, right. Now, so this is the traditional setup from the French, and here you can go advanced variation, you can go exchange variation, which has a dull reputation. There are lots of other ways to go. The knight can come here, the knight can come here. There's all kinds of stuff, but the Demodum Gambit continues with pawn to c4, and this is lots and lots of fun. Is that Estonia? Uzbekistan? Oh, what is difference? Okay, so he's accepted. And now the point of the Demodum is that you want to keep a pawn on d5 at all costs. And the point is that at some point, okay, we replace our pawn with there. We're going to put our knight here, right, defending the pawn. And what is a typical tactic to overwhelm? Okay, right. So this is completely gone off the rails, right? So we have a situation where we're pawn down, and our opponent has now moved the queen out into the board. Okay, the normal continuation is something like they bring their knight out, you bring your knight out. So they've got two attackers on here, but you've also got two defenders, knight and queen. And what you're waiting for is them to come out and play the tactic of pinning the knight to the king. And when you do that, when they put their bishop on here, you can play queen a4 check and basically win a piece, because the knight cannot block. That's the only normal move, to defend the bishop and block the check because of this pawn on d5. But all of that is now academic because they've played queen f6. Right, so the risk is you cannot move this pawn because the rook there would hang. So this pawn is pinned. I think knight c3 looks very reasonable here. We'd love to play knight to f3 at some point, but we can't do that right now. Also bringing this bishop out to b4 makes some sense, but I kind of look at this. It solves a few issues. We defend this pawn. We attack this pawn, which is currently undefended. We block the queen's view of the pinned b2 pawn. And I'm not concerned about this. If there, we could probably just take with the bishop, for example. So this is like a multi-purpose move. It's achieving quite a few things at once. So it is generally inadvisable to bring your queen out early. Oh my God, he's going for a... Okay. He's going for like a scholar's mate. Like, well, fair enough. I mean, why not? Dude's rated 1484. Okay, now the first thing that I notice is knight takes e4. Hits the bishop, hits the queen, and defends the pawn. So he's going to have to move the queen. And he can't take there with the queen because knight takes, right? So what's he going to do? He's going to put the queen here or here. That will then pin the knight on the king, right? So let's say we take here. Queen, she can't go here, of course, because of the pawn. So here or here. If e5, we can develop our other knight. Oh, in fact, actually, this knight will be undefended. So we're going to have to defend the knight. Maybe something like queen d3. And the next question is there anything that's better than that? And honestly, right now, I can't see anything. We've got to defend this. So you could put your knight here, for example, defends the pawn, but then black's got a spare bishop, can just eliminate that, completely bugger up your pawn structure. So we're not having that kind of nonsense. We're going to do this move. Got a pot of coffee here, just black coffee. Have had a bit of a headache though, mild headache for about 36 hours. And I think it may be to do with having reintroduced the coffee. So I think I may be knocking out the tea and the coffee. So just keeping up to date with the Hunty's biohack diary. Right, so you've got an issue here. Now, one of these moves just seems like a no-brainer because you've got to defend the bishop as well, right? So, I mean, queen could go here and defend the bishop. We could even go here. But then we can trade off if we so choose. So there are kind of maybe 4 potential places where the queen could move. This is not one of those places. So yeah, I've been a bit fuzzy this week. Did a liver flush last weekend, and it always kind of knocks me flat a bit. It's meant to be good in terms of removing toxins and stored fats from the liver, reverses fatty liver, basically. Oh. In the words of Arlo Guthrie, but there was a third possibility we hadn't even counted upon. Okay, so he's upped the danger levels. This is a very interesting move. So the obvious move here is bishop d2. That also means that our queen defends the rook. So bishop d2, the queen can actually take on b2. That's a very interesting move. The only other option well, hang on. We could bring this knight back to c3. If bishop, no, we can't, because bishop takes, pawn takes, queen takes, forks, king, and rook. That's no good. But this way, we block takes here. We take bishop, queen takes bishop. We can block with a queen. This is also an option. Knight here. Is that the best option? The only other one is king e2, and I really don't want to play that. Knight d2. Bishop takes us, we recapture. Yeah. This pawn is undefended now, because we've just blocked it by putting the knight in the way. Very interesting line in the old Diemer-Duhm. And we have an isolated queen's pawn. Queen here or here check. I can just block. And that actually forces the queens off the board, because then we've got 2 queens and 2 kings in line. Nobody gets to move. It ends in death for the queens. Okay, I can actually play queen e2 now. The issue is that this pawn is pinned. This knight is also, sorry, this pawn is hanging. This knight is pinned. So how do I defend? I mean, yeah, that's a possibility. Bishop c4. Not a bad idea. It develops a piece, gets out of our problem. This is a thought, but then we're locking in the bishop. So let's throw this move in first. I can always back it up with this, but I can't immediately because the rook would hang. Rook b1, b3 seems a bit slow. It's weird playing 30. I've played loads and loads of blitz recently. Right, that's the most natural move. This is also quite natural. Idea if we trade off, then we get the development lead, kind of. Could also kick the bishop. Bishop has to retreat somewhere, but it'll probably retreat here and have another sniff around. Let's play the knight out. I don't see any counter-argument, and that allows us to castle and crack on with the game. We do have 3 minor pieces out on the board. Black also has 3 pieces out on the board and has castled, so arguably has a slight lead here. But this is a jolly enjoyable game. be nice to analyse as well and to know how to deal with this line in the future. I mean, I've got a study on the Diemer-Duhm, but we definitely didn't have any plan for this one. So this is Demodum. Okay, right. Now you're attacking my knight. Now, if the bishop is allowed to take the knight, this knight currently cannot capture because it's pinned by that bishop, right? However, if I castle, no brainer really. Now if bishop takes, I've got queen takes. That's defended twice. I can recapture with the knight, getting the knight out of trouble. The knight's no longer pinned anyway. Okay, now. Oh, this is quite interesting. I can't capture with the knight. The problem is, if I recapture with the bishop, it hangs this pawn. I can't recapture the knight because it hangs the queen. If I capture with the queen, black takes the knight and I can only then recapture with the g-pawn. So it's going to have to be the bishop and give up this now. Okay, we've gone for that anyway, right? So black has chosen, instead of the option of a free pawn, has taken the option of messing up my structure. However, okay, so a lot of shit just happened, okay? And the one thing that I notice immediately is that white has two bishops, whereas black has two knights, and the board is wide open. Right, the other thing is that my king is somewhat more exposed. However, imagine, for example, imagine if you will, king h1, rook g1, putting pressure on here. Right, I want both my bishops. I want this pawn out of the way, really. I might sacrifice him at the first opportunity. I want to almost certainly get my king to h1. So what black needs to do is to get these knights up the board. These horses have got to get mobilized. He's got to get his rooks into the game. So suddenly it feels like the advantage that black had has dematerialized. Bishop here pinning the knight on the rook, threatening to win the knight. Knight can't come here because of our advanced pawn. Bishop here, he's going to have to play his rook there, eh? And if this... don't think that works. But I could actually double up. Yeah, so here, rook here. Either rook, doesn't really matter. I kind of feel like I'm going to end up with a rook on the g file. So maybe rook a here. This is my kind of general... It's good to have a plan while your opponent's having a think. Okay, so bishop here. Rook comes here to defend the knight, because the knight can't move. And the king can't get there in time. He'd have to move a pawn and then that falls. Yeah, he can't do that, because that simply loses material. With a double attack, you see, they're pushing the pawn forward, would hit the king with check, and then we win the knight. And the knight can't block, because bishop takes it anyway. This is a bishopy board. One other thing you have to remember, take note of as well, is we have 4 pawn islands to black's 2. Ooh! Did you spot that? Okay, what I'm thinking now is, can I kind of try and trap this knight in? I think he may have spotted that move, which is, if so, it's good. Good. This, or even the immediate this, because it's actually defended by the bishop. You know, why move 2 pawns when one will do? Stops the knight advancing, and for the time being, pins it into the corner. If he moves this pawn in any way, it's snatched off. Even if he pushes it 2, I can en passant. I'm not going to take the knight. I need this bishop pair. I'm going to try and protect this bishop pair at all costs. Can always drop back here if needed. Okay, this is 2 attackers. Can get a tempo by playing this. The knight will go here. I can't go there because of my bishop, right? I do this, knight goes here. If I push, might just have to give up on the old pawn. But what's he going to do? He's going to take it with a knight, obviously. Is there anything to counter attack? If I take this and pawn takes, this knight's the only defender of that pawn. Push. Oh, if I push, knight comes here. Here. Knight comes here. There, I'm attacking him. He has to do this. Knight comes here. Bishop comes here, attacking the knight. B6. At least I've then moved my bishop, haven't I? So now I can actually get a second defender behind the pawn. I think that's the trick. He can't come here or here. Okay, he's done that. Good. And now rook a d1, and we have two defenders. Yeah. Check it out. If I were to take this knight, he's going to end up with 3 pawn islands. Material is equal. We each have 6 pawns. But right now, his are in a very happy situation of being in 2 sets of 3 on either side of the board. Alrighty. Okay, so now he's no longer attacking this twice. Now he's changed his plan, which is no bad thing. That's just walking into the lion's den though, isn't it? Because you've got 2 attackers, so that makes sense. I think I need to mobilise my rook that's on f1. Does he want to come to e1 or does he want to come to g1? There's no major piece threatening the g-file right now. I could like push the king forward at some point, defend all 3 of these pawns. Rook here. Can't get in there, which is where I'd like to go because of this knight. This bishop is not now bound to defend that. Can't play that. Don't really like king h1 that much. If I push my king forward, it's actually walking into potential attacks as well. Play rook e1, rook fe1. This will be rook de1. It's kind of tempting to mess up my opponent's pawns, but my hunch is that having bishops of both colours in this ending will be more useful than trying to mess up his pawns and give him 3 pawn islands. Oh, that's a stiff neck. Jesus. I'd like to push this at some... He's probably going to have to move that knight. And he's not going to win him the game from there. And I'm still thinking about targeting g1. Okay, here comes the horse. Right, so immediate dangers. That's not really a danger, I just push forward. He can't go there. He can't really go there because it's dirt. Got rook here. Also got now rook here, which I couldn't do previously, attacking this pawn. Right, is there any danger with that? No. You're only supposed to blow the bloody doors off. So opponent's on 21 minutes. No one's in any time trouble here. It's all going to come down to fine margins. Remember, this pawn is actually pinned because this rook is undefended. If he pushes forwards, I just recapture with b. And then we've got a danger pawn. We really do. Pawn on 6th. There should be some rhyme for that. Pawn on 6th, son of a... No, it doesn't work. Rook here is possible. Love to get another attacker on here. In fact, Mundo, pushing the pawn from d5 to d6 gives us exactly that. Attacker number 2. Now, opponent can defend the pawn. But he's going to have 2 problems, isn't he? He's going to have pawn attacking kind of here and threatening to come in. And he's got this issue. And in this case, very often actually, taking with the non-checking piece is the best one. Because then you get the threat of moving away with a discovered check by the long-range piece. And this can work on a straight line or a diagonal. So if it was a straight line, sometimes you'd, if you've got like a rook here and the king's here, yeah, sometimes you'd like take with the bishop so that you get to move the bishop away with a discovery by the rook or the queen. By the way, I know it's been a kind of a quiet week on Old Chess Bootcamp, but I've been quite busy launching working on a new business. But I'm thinking of really focusing Chess Bootcamp more on tactics than anything else. For the simple reason that no one focuses on tactics enough. And tactics are the number one most important thing. Everyone goes on and on and on and on and on and on and on about openings. Whereas for the majority of us, it really doesn't matter that much. If you look at how many games are lost or won in the opening, it just... right? Only when you get to be a title player, a master level player, does it start to matter. Okay. Anyway, back to the chess. Now here... he's just got 2 attackers, it's and 1 defender. That just doesn't make any sense. I have rook here. But this, he takes, I take, I'm attacking the knight and threatening it to move with discovery. Let's think this through. Here, pawn takes. I've messed up his pawn slightly, eh? But then I get this pawn, which is a key pawn. That's Freddy the F pawn, part of the king's personal guard. And this guy, Dave, Dangerous Dave, he was never, his character was never going to be in the final act. It really wasn't. So here, if rook takes, I could even, in fact, I've got to be very careful about back rank because this knight is actually guarding my king's escape square right now, which is annoying. So push, let's say pawn takes, right? I take here. And I'm attacking the knight, and the knight must move. He could go here, blah, blah, blah. In fact, then I just go to g2. So I'm kind of liking this. Now, if rook takes, I take with a rook. Pawn then takes, also opens up this. Right, I'm doing it. I think it works. This check doesn't work, by the way. Okay, rook's taken straight away. I'm going to take with a rook. He has to take with a pawn. I take here. I'm now threatening the knight, and it's actually a fork on this pawn as well, plus the threat of a discovered check. And that, my friends, is something that bishops can do and knights can't. There's no such thing as a discovered check from a knight. Now, my friend, you have a problem. Save your knight, which can't go there. We've already established this. Knight goes here, I attack it again. Knight comes back here, doesn't work. Knight comes here, doesn't work. I win the pawn with a discovery. No, I don't. I win the rook with a discovery. The old windmill technique. It's not really a windmill. Windmill is when you just force the king back between 2 squares. So you move with a discovery and win material on the 7th rank. And then the king has to go back. And then, anyway, you probably know it. You've probably done it yourself. This is quite a good position, and I think that was a good investment of 1 minute 58 seconds. And this is why you play longer formats. Because if I was playing Blitz, I'd have a maximum 20, 30 seconds to think about a long move, you know, a key move, a critical move. Well, that doesn't work. Pause and find out why it doesn't work. Okay, well, the answer is because when the rook takes the knight, this knight is now pinned. And by the way, we also defend this bishop. Oh, my lord. That's quite pretty. And I'm threatening this with a fourchette of doom. Wow. And how long did opponent spend? 1 minute 18. He's got 17 minutes left on his clock. Okay, you have to say to yourself, if I do this move, right? If I do this move, what can my opponent do? Oh yeah. Right, so now he can't take the rook. If this and rook there would be mate, if, like for example. So I think I should take the pawn. He can't take the rook. Okay, let's think this through. Got loads of time. Look at me. Got 16 minutes. Why? Because I hit the 30-minute button, not the 10-minute button. Okay, I take the pawn. We're up 4 materials. The knight still can't move. The rook still has to defend the knight. That's as far as I need to think. Now my tactic is this. Okay, well it was. The knight still cannot move. So now I have this idea. If I take and rook takes, that is no longer mate because the king can go to g7. However, there's nothing wrong with this move, is there? The knight's still pinned, it can't do nothing. The rook still has to defend the knight, and it can't move, because the rook can't go there. So what's he got? He's got pawns and he's got a king. Okay, now the knight is no longer pinned. This is important. However, this pawn is. I have a check. Right, and then what we do, we colour in. Now, you're not allowed to do this over the board. I turned up to a tournament. I turned up to a match once with my coloured markers, and they said, no, you're not allowed to colour on the board, which is a surprise. Okay, so I put my bishop here. The king is in check. Can't go there, there, there. If it goes here or here, it reinstates the pin on the knight. Are there any threats? No, well, nothing's actually under attack currently. I've got h4 attacking the pin pawn. Here, I think this is, I don't know, it looks good. Here he's got actually knight takes. Oh no, then he doesn't, then I take the knight. So I kind of like that as well. But I've got 14 minutes 50. Look at this, I could take a break, go for a wee. I could make a brew, don't matter. Okay, so check. Now the question is, where's he gonna go? And this is intermediate level thinking, right? Where's he gonna go? He's in check, he's got to move. Is he gonna come here or here? Well, here falls to this, and then he's forced into there. Oh, I don't know about that. I'd get the heebie-jeebies about that one. But quite honestly, he can't go here either. So he's, I don't really know. I think I like this move. Because again, knight can't take, because the knight will not be defended, and the reason it's not defended is because this pawn is pinned. So the knight can capture on there, but it's not defended, because a pin piece is not defending anything. Well, it can. Can a piece be pinned and be defending something? Certainly pawns can't, because they have to leave their file. Okay. Well, surely I can just drop back, eh? I just drop back. Still just threatening to take the pawn. And relax. Could even take the piss and throw in a check. I'm gonna. Especially now that I've got pawn there. So this bishop's actually defended too. Kind of nice. King goes here. I could even... I mean, look. I'm in a winning position now. I'm a whole minor piece up. And one pawn, isn't it? Yeah. I can even afford to take out the knight and win another pawn. That's if he goes onto a light square for sure. Okay. I have another check. Or takes, rook takes, rook takes. What do we think of this? It's good to simplify. Simplify, simplify me, simplify. Okay, so if I give check on d3, king can go here, can go here, can go here. No, I think let's simplify. Let's keep it. The objective of the chess game is to win the damn game. Rook is defended. King can't go da 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 da. You have one option remaining. Yeah, it's 3 options. This is check. It forces king here. Okay. I need to think a little bit just about defending these pawns, because when you get into an ending like this, you have to say to yourself the critical question: if my opponent was gonna win this game at any costs, how could he do it? Okay, and the only way he's going to do it is by Hunty completely swallowing his own foot, or by me taking my eye off the ball, trying to finish in style. His rook eliminating these pawns, and like Barry the B pawn dancing up and becoming a queen. And this would be vexatious. We would not like that. Would we indeed? At all. Okay. So one idea is like bishop b8, attack this pawn. Which it must be said cannot move because it'll get eaten by my pawn, which is a good thing. So if bishop b8, is he going to put this rook here? Have we gained anything? Also allows his rook to here as well. So I think I'm just going to push my king up the board. I'm like come in trying to annihilate this pawn. Maybe push this pawn, push all my pawns up. Now I'd like to get into a position where my pieces are defending both of these. And it's not the easiest thing in the world. Now if this bishop moves out the way, then rookie actually defends b5. And that would do it actually. Pushes the king up the board. Rook defends this. But nothing's really defending the a2 pawn. Could try and annihilate the a2 pawn. Don't know. Here, we know the king's forced there. What is the point of this move? Is he wanting to come here? He's retreated the rook. Why has he retreated the rook? Okay, do not proceed until you've answered that question. My only thought is he wants to come to a8. I can't think of any other reason. So I think we can proceed with plan A. Oh my god, they killed Harry. Oh. Okay, I can't come there now because I get killed. That's not good. Right, okay. If I had to defend this pawn at all costs, how would I do it? I mean, this is actually a fork right now. He's attacking 2 undefended pawns. There, here. Maybe if okay, let's say, for sake of argument, I push there, he comes down, attacking this pawn. I'm too slow to get in there because by the time I get there, he's captured that pawn and then he defends that one. That's annoying. That's quite common, that. Okay. The other question is, can I like checkmate him with a combination of king, rook, and bishop before he even gets a let him eat these pawns? Let's figure that out. We've got 9 minutes. Join me. Okay. We take out a pawn. We've got this. We know this forces the king up, right? The pawn can even follow. So what we need to do is kind of get the king up there. I don't know if there's any way I can defend that. How about this, actually? Right, if I give check, he comes here. I say come back there. His king's only even got 1 square right now. But I can't check him and... I give check, king goes there. I put this pawn here and get my bishop to there, kind of defends. 1. Rook can't go to d2. Okay, work with me on this. I get to push a3, bishop to there. If I do this, oh no, 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 no. I don't like that very much at all, do you? That's the problem. Rook fork. Okay, we're not having this nonsense. Okay, I've got inside 8 minutes now. Here, he comes down, I win a pawn, he wins a pawn. It's kind of fair. I'm loads of material up. I'm a full minor piece and 2 pawns up, and this pawn's a sitting duck as well. Can I afford to take this pawn? That pawn, he comes down there for sure. Check him. He goes there. Or just simply this. I'm gonna pull the trigger and go with that one. Because I've got 1, 2 hanging pawns now. As long as he doesn't convert one of these, I'm alright. Now the bishop has to defend the rook. I need to be careful about that. But this is my idea. At least it defends one of those pawns. This one I can give up. Oh, he's gone after that one. Check that out. So let's say I take, or I take here. Take this one. Because it comes with the advantage of defending that one. Bishop here now would make sure these 2 are both defended. And I'm attacking this one at the same time. And if he can't give a check now. Yeah, I'm not sure that was the best target to go after, but yeah, all his hopes now rest on one little hobbit. Okay, and this was always my plan, right? Tie the whole room together. Everything is now defended. Happy, happy, happy days. Okay, and this pawn, of course, hangs. Now, surely temple, right? Rook a6. This pawn is pinned and can't proceed. And I've got 2 attackers on it. It has to be winning. This feels like quite a grown-up game. Which is good. I feel good about that because I've been playing a load of Blitz, which is children's chess. You are joking me. Oh my lord, and what happened? You didn't. You thought through that. Oh my goodness me. And Sean OGX is watching. Oh my, I can feel my cheeks going red. Oh, sweet Jesus. I didn't even think it through. And this is still a winning position. I'm 3 pawns up. I didn't have to do that. Can't go there because of my rook. Can't go there because of my pawn. Can't go there because of my king. Oh my lord. Well, that was brilliant. I mean, got to give it to your opponent for that. And what do I lose 2 points for that? But that's a good use of 2 points. Oh, is that probably the quickest move I played in the entire game? 1.9 seconds. And I stalemated the bastard. Well, Sanjar 1988, you deserve that, my friend. I didn't even think. You see, that's all it takes. And there's me congratulating myself about what a grown-up game I've played. You clever bastard. Well done. Well done. He had that game totally and utterly lost. Quick look at the review. We know where it all swung. It was when he made a quick move and ended up losing a whole piece. There we go. Here. Let's just look at the end here. Capturing the... Yeah. Capturing the pawn was a blunder because it lost me my bishop. I'm plus 57 here. And that is a great... That really is an outstanding move. And that... Yeah, a mistake, you think? Wow, wow, wow. Took my eye off the ball, just a moment, paid the price. So let's look. So he made a blunder early on. This was a blunder. And I could have won the knight. How? How? What's the best move? Do you remember at the start, I went to lengths to try and explain how the Diemer-Duhm goes. Okay, let me show you on the Explorer because, okay, so with my games as white, okay, with the French defence, okay, I've played mainly d4s, some knight f3s, and whatever. Okay, so d4s, most common move by a mile is here. Now, for me, the move f3 has been interesting, but I've only played 11 games. c4, I've got a 55% hit rate now. Okay, c4, most common move, de. I play d5. Okay, and we'll go with the most common line. Takes, knight f6. Okay, knight c3. Bishop b4, interestingly, immediately, I've only got 50% win rate, right? Queen a4 check. And this is the point. He loses material, whatever happens. If he pushes c6, I win the bishop, right? He puts the knight here, I win the knight. Anything, you know. So this is the whole point. This is a fork on king and bishop. Black thinks he's being clever by pinning this defender of this pawn against the king. And here, it's the exact same thing. I had a fork on king and bishop, right? So if I do this, how does he not lose the bishop? He's in check, right? He has to do this, and then I win the knight anyway. But what a roller coaster. That was a heap of fun. And it's still, how many times do we need to learn the same lessons? Look at the board. What's going to happen if I do that? Never, ever, ever move without thinking. That's a good lesson to self. I hope you enjoyed that as much as I did, everyone. Thanks for watching. See you soon.